So, can you tell that this was the first rain we had in a week and it was in the 90s all week? And I didn't hardly water, except for the potted plants. Can you tell? The brown back there is because I keep having to remove the Sweet Pea Everlasting. I made mistakes. It's heavily invasive here. But we did have a downburst. They keep naming these wind events. And so you'll see things knocked over. And then I came home tonight and there was a deer and it panicked and it jumped on top of my plant protecting cage. You can see that I think the downburst did this. I hadn't noticed it. I had noticed that it ripped the door off my shed, but I fixed that. It's not that surprising. In general, I want to replace almost all the trim on that shed with that PVC stuff. You'll see the front. It's actually really quite nice. Look how well my little Kentucky coffee bean is doing. I want that. I want to see if I can coppice that. This is still way more of a jungle than I'd like. I did box layers and coppice and composting here, and it just is still a jungle. So I have things to deal with related to that. Let's see. Who wants to say hi? Say hi. Atta pretty. Oh, goodness. Oops is feeling much better now that we got a home for little boy. And little Bright Eyes is staying. But Oops doesn't mind little Bright Eyes. I'm gonna go back out. Oops doesn't mind little Bright Eyes at all. They play very nice. Oops didn't like the little boy because he was very clingy, and Oops is a cat that likes a lot of space. It would seem that my compost had squash in it at some point, so I may end up with some squash. The second storm today filled my pond. The Allegheny sedge that I brought home is happy about that because it was getting pretty dried out. Yeah. There's silk willow or silk dogwood? Which one is it? Someone tell me. And a hibiscus mochiatus that came up from seed right there. These smell so good. They smell like lilies. After the deer failed at jumping over the fence, it came right through here. I think it went up this way. Sorry, I spinned too much. I think it went up. Who are you, little bird in the branches over there? You see him? And then eventually went up through there and in front of the neighbor's deck. So I don't know. Even though I have that hedge kind of filled in, this looks like a weed. I don't know if it's ever going to properly fill in because the deer keep tromping through there. I missed several rounds of mushrooms, as you can see. I did not get in there and pick them, and just their remains are in there, and I feel kind of bad about that. I've been getting some ginger from the ginger plant. I have to start remembering to use it and not buy some, because in the wintertime I get in a habit and then I see it on the shelf and I'm like, oh yeah, I need that. No, I don't need that. I have ginger. Anyhow. So, and I do want to have it start going up the hill and dig it out of this enclosed space, because it doesn't actually need animal protection, but I didn't know that yet when I first planted it. Got a couple of apples up there. I guess I should spray them with neem, because it looks like they're getting codling moth. I didn't realize I had a couple apples. It's good to know. The Joan J. Thornless Raspberry is taking a break between its two productions. Looks like something stuck its face in there and got a lot of leaves out there, but you can still see that it's nice and protected in here. The wind obliterated this piece of fence. How low the planes come through up here, jeez. And so I need to replace this so that I'll continue to have protections through here. Those ones match the sunset with a little bit of deeper yellow in the middle. Very cool. It's almost like peach put together. My pond overflows are working really, really well. I'm very happy with them. So the pond has one bit that shoots off that way into the front yard, which was always way too dry. And then there's a secondary overflow that I don't seem to be able to reduce enough. And I put a bunch of twigs and branches in here to kind of keep it a little more open this time, because the wood chips seem to mostly just be slowing it down. So there's that. This is Magnolia virginiana, and I think it ought to end up being a dwarf variety. I sure hope so, because it's awfully close to the house otherwise. I bought a Mr. Stripey tomato because I like the yellow and pink striped tomatoes. They're my favorite. As you can see, while Joan Jay's taking a break, the raspberry shortcake is continuing, and there's a lot in there. Most of the blackberries are still red. I seem to recall that they just stay red for a very long time, and then suddenly they start going black. I think this is the native thimbleweed anemone, or anemone, or anemone, I don't know, whatever. These blew over during that storm too, and I had to come in and put them back up. And as you can see, the asparagus is really quite overtaking the lawn. I was just in here straightening up some berries, berry canes and nut bush canes. This is the Experimental Farm Network's hardy ground cherry. Last year they did not get all the way ripe, but the ones that are growing up in the asparagus, I think it's perfect, because tomato family, of which ground cherries are tomato family, help run off the asparagus beetles. So that's a really good pairing because it's not going to pull it down. They stay real short and they start to fruit like well after the asparagus is pretty well done anyhow. So we may end up with like a little thicket of ground cherry going underneath the asparagus. The end of the season, I may actually cut these down before winter this time just because I messed up in spring and it's just such a mess. It's such a mess from what I missed. I've gotten a few potatoes. It's been hard keeping them watered enough in the tubs. So that might not be my forever solution, but they're seemingly doing really good. I looked up what persimmon trees look like and as seedlings, and that's the answer right there. In fact, I think another one just came up because that's a seed casing at the tip of my finger on top of some leaves. So I need to dig those and pot them out separately. Yeah. I found out that my Joe Pye weed is called hollow stem Joe Pye. I think it might flower soon. I'm hoping I'll still have some of my rogue tomatoes coming up. But I love the look of the Joe Pye. It's cute. It'll be humongous. Probably need to weed over on this corner. This is some form of forget-me-not right here, and then we got some catnip, and snake root is fine. But we got some things going to seed here. I have been getting Yosta berries here, and this year they're going ripe enough without getting eaten that they're not too tangy. Last year they were too tangy at the ripest they would get before the animals stole them. So, yeah, this year they're alright. As you can see, the tape's getting mostly black flies, but at least it's getting something. Yeah. Oh yeah, my friend gave me these little hot peppers. You see the little bit of orange right here and one right there. I forgot to point them out. They're right by the baby persimmon trees. Yeah. I'm very happy with how this Illinois mulberry's coming along. I think I'm actually gonna start to have a stable tree there because it was having trouble getting going because everything was eating it or sun bleaching it or whatever. Now it's doing okay. Wow, the deer have actually started eating the leaves on the hardy kiwi. That's annoying. Look at how across the pathway it is. Like there's a fence here and a fence here, and this is just the whole way across. Move it. But yeah, this is how things are going. It's jungle season, mostly. They smell so good. Oh yeah, it's gladiolus time suddenly now too. There's all kinds of different colors in this plot right here. It's enjoyable. There's the sunset. Look at these starting to go to seed. Itty bitty bum go to sleep. I forgot to grab the bitty bum before starting the video, but I did keep the little girl. Her name is Bright Eyes. She's a sweetie. And she's itty bitty tiny, so next time I'll have to show her again. Look at those clouds in the sunset. Good Lord. Yep. Definitely a couple of scattered showers happened today. Ooh, ouchie. Slipping around inside my shoes here. All because I want to show you this. I put the sawed off pieces from the door of the what used to be the aviary and is now a catio here, because something was climbing through there and I didn't know if this spice plant was going to survive. Can't remember the name of this plant. I planted it like 15 years ago. But it's one of those European spices. It's supposed to go with fish. A little bit tangy. A little bit tartar saucy. And it grows like that. And it's sterile. It doesn't have seeds. So if you remember what that's called, let me know, because I've forgotten. I have definitely forgotten. Pondering whether I should get out there and yank up these rogue mullein plants. I'm not convinced that I should. I should. Will I? That's another question. But, yeah, looks like my maypop is tendriling. I can't tell if my purple flowering raspberry is doing good over there too or not. I have to get my way most of the way across the front here, I guess. A lot of times I end up finding a tick on me when I get past the fence. It deters me from wanting to try on this side, but probably still should try. At any rate, I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for visiting the cliffside. Enjoy that view. Ooh, that is nice. Take care. Bye.